Are you making your money work for you? Well, in today's video, I'm going to be covering some of the best savings options to help you make the most out of your savings. Now, whether you plan to use a high interest yield savings account or a CD account, we're going to be covering both of those different types of accounts and how they can make the most amount of money for you. So in today's video, you can expect to get over 35 different, 35 of the best high yield interest savings accounts that you can open up and start making your money work for you, that you need to know, because if you knew better, you would do better. Let's get started. Now, my first rule is that you pay yourself first. So if you are getting a paycheck, which most people in this universe do, I want you to set aside between 10 and 25% of that paycheck and have it automatically direct deposited into a high interest yield savings account, okay? Because what that is going to do, it's going to help you develop some different nest eggs. It's also going to help you develop some relationships with some of these banks that you might want to get high limit credit funding from. And last but not least, it's going to make you the most amount of money in return on your investment. So whether you plan to get a high interest yield savings account or a CD account, we're going to be covering the benefits of both of those. Now, both high yield savings accounts and certificate of deposits, better known as CDs, both have a higher yield interest that is paid to you, but there are some key differences between those accounts. The first type of savings account that we're going to cover is the CD account, and this is by far probably the highest paying type of savings account that one can have. Now, in the case of CD accounts, oftentimes there is a minimum that you're going to need to put into your certificate of deposit. Usually it's about a $1,000 limit, but of course, the more that you put in, the more you're going to make. The downside about it is your funds are locked away for that period of time. They are not accessible, and usually only the interest that you have made on the account would be accessible, and even then, I don't recommend it. So the good thing is you're going to make a ton of money on your return. The downside is you're not going to have access to those funds. There's no credit check. It does not report to your credit. This is simply another banking product that you can get and lock away your money to just make you money. Now, when your term comes up for renewal, you can either withdraw your CD or you can extend it for another term. Generally, it's about 12 months or even longer that you can do. So CDs are great for those of you that are saving for something long-term and you want to maximize the return on your investment. So for those of you that are saving for, say, your son or daughter's schooling, and you're like, hey, I'm not going to need this money for at least 5 or 10 years, and I want to maximize the return on my money sitting in the bank. In that case, I would highly recommend trying to find the highest CD out there that can give you the best return, because rates are always changing. Do some due diligence and see, and if you need to book a call, I'll leave the link below. By the way, guys, if you are interested in learning more about credit or finances as a whole, whether that's personal or business, you want to make sure to either book a call with me or join the credit community. And the credit community is less than a cup of coffee a day, and we meet every Friday to cover everything from A to Z and how to help you leverage credit to build wealth. The key differences is really just the access to funds, the interest rates, and the penalty for early withdrawal. Now we get on to the high yield savings account, which a lot of people might confuse as the same thing. And no, they are very different. The key thing with the high interest savings account is we want to have about 10 to 25% of our paychecks automatically deposited into our high yield interest savings account so we can make our money work for us. Now, I know that might sound like a lot, but the average person in the US doesn't even have $1,000 saved. So our goal is to build up all of these different savings accounts with the different banks, build our relationships, and be able to get credit, get high limit credit, because we can't do anything with $1,000 or $2,000 credit card. All that's going to do is just get us in trouble, right? So these are great ways to help build your relationship with the bank so you can get better credit products and make the most out out of your money. If you have money sitting around and it's not doing nothing and you don't really need it, do a CD account. But if you're not sure if you're going to need it, high interest yield savings account, guys. Have a portion of your paycheck go here, because this is where your money needs to go when you pay yourself first. I don't care if you are married or whatever the case may be, you still need to pay yourself first. Have a certain percentage, even if it's just 10%, go into this high yield interest savings account so you can have a little nest egg. You never know what the future holds, whether you are going to need a whole new set of tires or whatever the case. Or if you simply just have a huge blowout and you need to relocate. We just never know what the future holds. So it's always important to, be safe, right? If you knew better, you would do better. And if you are new around here, make sure that you have smashed that like button and subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. And leave me a comment below if you have found value in this video. Another thing, and what I'm going to do for you guys is I am leaving a link below with this slideshow. So if you want the slideshow that has all 35 of the different high yield interest savings accounts, go to the description, click on the link. It's free. Get your copy and download it. Okay. But basically, the annual percentage yield is going to be a bit lower than a CD. Still decent. They average anywhere between 4 and 5% right now. That's kind of like the going rate. But they are different than your traditional savings account. They're going to yield you a little bit better of a return, a lot. But not every bank out there offers a high yield interest savings account. So you have to really make sure that you know what you're doing. And some banks that do offer them have a minimum, like, hey, you have to have a minimum of $2,500 in this account for it to qualify. And that's fine, because again, we're looking to build a relationship with banks that we want to get credit products in the future. So if you want to build a relationship with Navy Federal, they offer a money market account, and their money market account is their high interest yield savings account. And it offers a higher interest rate, or APY, which is annual percentage yield. And with Navy Federal, you can earn dividends with a minimum balance of $2,500. So as it says on their website, the minimum to open up this money market savings account is $2,500. But it has a lot of great features. And right now you can see that since interest rates are always changing, their rates are not even listed on their website. But that's okay, because if you are looking to do a longer term, they also have CD accounts. But this is just one example. But again, not every bank out there offers a high yield interest savings account. So you might need to open up multiple bank accounts with different financial institutions, which, believe me, it's healthy. Okay. I know so many people out there that are so loyal to one bank just because they've been with them forever, and that's all that they bank with. It is okay to date multiple banks. Okay. Don't feel like just because you've had Chase since you were 18 that you can't open up another bank account. Like, God forbid. No, get out there and date. Okay. When you bank, you need to date the banks. Okay. Get to know them. What can they do for you? Okay. You're giving them your money, but what can they do for you? Okay. It's a relationship, and a relationship goes both ways, right? We're always interested in what can someone do for me. But when we go to the banks, we're just sometimes grateful to even walk in their doors and be able to have an account, which is a privilege. However, we also want to understand, how can I make my money work for me? How can I maximize this money to get the things in life that I need? To buy a car with the best interest rate, to buy a home with the best interest rate, to get a high limit credit card, so if I have to use a few $1,000s, it doesn't ding my credit because of the credit card utilization. Or hey, if I build a relationship on the personal side, now I can leverage that relationship over on the business side. So there's multiple ways that you can leverage your relationship by just having CD accounts and high interest yield savings accounts. Now, I'm going to give a secret to you guys. The magic number that you really want to focus on, especially if your goal is to build a relationship with the bank, 10,000. Okay. If you open a high yield savings account with $10,000, your bank rating score is going to be a lot higher, meaning they're going to put you into a different bracket. Okay. That's what you want. Anytime you open up a new bank account, the magic number is 10K. And not everyone has 10K laying around, but mind you, you can recycle this 10K. Okay. Open up 10K with, say, DCU, right? Keep it in there for 6 to 12 months. Recycle it. Okay. But while you have your money in there, make it work for you, whether that's a CD or a high yield savings. So let's get into it. And that's exactly why I say have a certain percentage of your money be direct deposited into this high yield savings. So it's just continuously making you money. Key features of a high yield savings account. Really, you're getting a higher interest rate than a normal savings account. It's not going to cost you any money to open it. You have that safety net, right? It's better than your standard savings account. You have it for liquidity. So if you need money out of it, it's there and you can totally take it as you need to. There's no cap on that, which is nice. And use case. So it's ideal for emergency funds. And this is why I say you need multiple bank accounts. You need to have your deposit account, right? You need to have a few other banks that you are building relationships with you are dating, okay? Then you need to have your savings account, your high yield savings account. And this is where a percentage of your automatic deposit needs to go. So even if you are self-employed, you need to put yourself on payroll, sign up for ADP. I will leave a link in the description, and you need to split up your direct deposit. Okay. Again, pay yourself first. I cannot stress that enough. And a lot of people always ask me, why should I get a high yield savings account? And in fact, someone even requested that I do a high yield interest savings video. So this is for you, my friend. Now you are going to get a higher return on your investment. And that's the number one reason why. Why would you not have a higher yield savings account versus a normal savings account? Really, there's no fees. There's really nothing that would make it so you can't. The only thing is not having enough funds in some cases. For example, the account with Navy, you have to have at least a $2,500 deposit. But again, our goal is to save money, budget better, so we can build wealth. Okay. A lot of people spend money unnecessary as SHIT, and we have got to stop. I mean, I looked at my bill for DoorDash, and I think it's sickening. Okay. So again, we all have, even myself, analyze where we can cut expenses so we can save more and make our money work for us. It is safe. It is secure. There are no fees to open up a high yield savings account. Okay. It is just going to make you money and benefit you. Not to mention high yield interest savings accounts are accessible online, so you can easily move your money around as you need to and be able to track everything and manage it right from your phone. So the conclusion for high interest yield savings account is really it's great for anybody as long as you are over 18 years old. It's great to earn more on your money and it's not locked away and there's no risk associated. There's no cost to invest. There's no risky investments at the bank. It is what it is, and it is a very safe and easy way for you to make the most amount of money on your money, making your money work for you. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of it on where we should go to start building these relationships and how we can start making the most amount of money on our money that's already in the banks. Okay. So again, the high interest yield savings accounts, these are the accounts that we want to use for, our paying accounts, like our self-pay accounts. That's what I call it. I always pay myself first. So that's all savings account. Or if you're planning on doing something fun for the family, vacation, those are what those accounts are essentially for, like short term, right? But if you're, say, saving for a vacation in a year, then you could use a CD and make a whole heck of a lot of money on it, okay? Because one account that I have with Navy Federal, it's like a $5,000 CD account, and the percentage is a little over 5%. Well, I have earned over $150 $150 since February by simply having my funds in a high yield savings account. And someone might say, well, $120 isn't anything. Well, guess what? That's $120 that I would have never had. It would have just been sitting there doing nothing. Okay. Instead, we can have our money sitting in accounts that are going to yield us the most percentage and make our money work for us, guys. All right. So here are the top yield savings accounts, and these are not the credit unions. The credit unions I am breaking down. I put together the top 25 credit unions for you guys. All right. So these are just the top 10 banks. Flagstar Bank is going to be number one right now. They're high yield, and that's going to be the savings plus. So that is going to be at a 5.55% annual percentage yield. And then there's Poppy Bank. And again, a lot of you guys may have never heard of these banks. And that doesn't mean that they're not a good bank. They're not a reputable bank. Of course, you can look these banks up. I'm not making any money from these banks. So, please, by any means, do your own due diligence. But based on my research, this is where you're going to see the most amount of return on your investment on these top 10 accounts, and anyone can open up these accounts. Okay, pretty much anyone. Discover Bank, American Express. Again, that's a great bank to get your information in there. And if your goal is to eventually get American Express credit cards, great way to start building that relationship with a bank. So again, if you want a copy of this slideshow, there is a link below inside of the description for you to request your free copy. Okay, Digital Federal Credit Union is, and mind you, I'm going to be asking for a small donation. So if you guys can donate to help, I am actually building a high yield interest savings for my daughter. And honestly, I'm going to be helping her build her own YouTube channel and her own business. So we're going to be building her a YouTube channel, and this is to help support her camera. So she wants a certain camera to build her business. And so that's what I'm asking for, guys. I don't mind giving you all of this stuff for free. Normally I do. But if you can give a small donation for this, my daughter would greatly appreciate it, because that's going to help to go towards building her business and getting her camera gear so she can start her YouTube channel and promote her brand, which she's going to be starting a lip gloss line. So she's 4 years old, and yeah, we just greatly appreciate it. So again, make sure to smash that like button, share with a friend, make sure you're subscribed, guys. And if you want credit merchandise, we have it. Visit creditmerch.com, or you can visit the links below in the description. And if you are looking to get more support by either personal credit or business credit, join the credit community. We have built a community, and I give you all of the hacks, ebooks, digital products, marketing, everything that you're going to need to start a business, build business credit, repair your credit, even start a credit repair business. It's all in there, and we meet weekly every Friday. So check it out. All right, DCU. This is going to be by far the number one pick as far as the high yield interest savings account. Right now, they are at a 6.17%, and they require a $1,000 balance. So again, you want to, go big or go home. A DCU is one of those banks that is worth building a relationship with. So if you can go a little bit higher, what's that magic number we were talking about? 10K. Okay, 10K. That's what we want to go with, and you can recycle those funds. Number two is going to be On Path Federal Credit Union. They are at a 7%, and they have a high yield checking option. Great for everyday transactions to just make your money work for you the most. Number three is Alliant Credit Union. Also another great credit union to build a relationship with. Right now, they don't have the best rates, only at a 3.10, but they can pretty much do any amount. So they have a low minimum balance requirement, and they have a very robust digital banking system. They are also very good for high limit credit cards. So I highly recommend them. Side note, it is a hard pull to open up a bank account with Alliant. So just be aware of that, okay? Number 4 is going to be First Tech Federal Credit Union. They have very competitive rates. So if we head over to their website right now, So even if we take a look at First Tech's website, you can see here that they are at about a 5%. So you can take a look and right here, check it out. You have any minimum $25, no monthly fee. Okay. So you can see here, these are some great options. And again, we are building a relationship with the bank. So we can go to that bank in the future and say, hey, bank, I do my deposit here. I have my savings account. I have multiple banking products, but now I'm looking to get an auto loan, or maybe I'm looking to purchase a home, right? And as long as you have your credit at least at a 700, you should be perfectly fine because you took that time to build a relationship with the bank, which is extremely important. Imagine no relationship and going to apply versus building a relationship, having a savings account, having a CD account, all of those things, even doing a pledge loan. These are all different banking products that you can do with a bank like Navy Federal, like DCU, like PenFed. And those are banks that don't require any sort of status or way that you have to get in, especially PenFed. So if you are part of the community, I've dropped a million other different banks, so definitely join. But number 5 is Connexus Credit Union. They have very competitive rates. They do require direct deposit, and they might have some other qualifying activities that you need to do, but you can definitely check them out because they are another really great credit union that you want to pay attention to. Because if your goal is to get higher limit credit cards, is to get funding at the best rate, you want to start building relationships with credit unions. So open up about 3 different credit unions and start building your relationship with them. Okay. But if you can only do one, do one. Okay. I would prefer you to take longer to do it the right way versus rushing things and effing it up. Right. So if you have a larger amount of money, preferably I said 10K, because that's going to automatically get you into a higher bracket as far as your deposit history goes. If you can go to a bank and say, yeah, I'm going to start my account and here's a 10K deposit, they're automatically going to bucket you at a higher level versus if you go and say, hey, I'm going to open up an account for like $100, right? So you just have to kind of think, is this going to be the right move? Is this the best move for my goals, right? And sometimes it's not, and sometimes it is. So if you are having a hard time deciding what you feel like is the best, feel free to book a call. I have 15-minute calls where we can just review your goals and see what makes the most sense for you. Consumers Credit Union is at number 6. They're also very popular. America's First Credit Union, number 7. We've got PenFed. This is Pentagon Federal Credit Union. I've talked about them, and they are one of my favorite credit unions. They are actually a Equifax bank. So if you are struggling to try to find a bank that pulls Equifax, they actually use Equifax for their credit cards, but for their personal loans and for their lines of credit, they actually use Experian, okay? So again, if you knew better, you would do better, my friends. And I've also put together a free credit kit for you guys. So this credit kit is amazing. If you are new to the channel, definitely get the free credit kit because I have put together everything from credit stacking, business credit, credit repair, everything credit related is in my free credit kit because my goal is to provide you with as much value and knowledge so that way you can share this and literally change your life. Literally, okay? It has changed my life, and now I can help educate you guys because I can share my experience and I can share with you everything that I actually teach to my clients. So number 9 is going to be the number 1 credit union in the US right now, Navy Federal. Now, Navy Federal is not the best for a high yield interest savings account. I went over what they offer right now. They do have a good CD account, but as far as their high yield, this is it. It's their money market savings account, which it doesn't even say what the APY is right now. So usually it's the going rate is about 5 to 6%. So let's see if they have rates as far as the money market savings account. These are the rates that Navy Federal is offering right now. So it's based on the deposit amount. So you can see the minimum is $2,500. So anywhere up to $2,500 is 0.95, right? And that's 20 $2,500 to $9,999, and then $10,000 to $24,999 is 1.6, and then 25 to 49 is 1.10, and then 50,000 and over is 1.5%. So that's, decent, I suppose. And then here's the jumbo money market savings accounts. But honestly, I believe you can find better high yield interest savings accounts out there, like some of the ones that we've already talked about. So again, do your research and see who's going to make you the most amount of money. Okay. Because that's really what we are interested in, is locking in at that high amount and making that return on our investment. Okay. And you can spread the love out with other banks and, just have it to build that relationship with Navy, but just know it's not going to be the best payout from them. Okay. Langley Federal Credit Union, another really hidden gem, if you ask me. They have very comparable rates and competitive rates. So you always want to check out what rate that they are offering and see if that's going to be the most competitive for you. You can see here, BECU, they are being pretty competitive right now. So as of July 1st of 2024, they have a 6.17% annual percentage yield, which is pretty darn good if you ask me. And that's on the first $500. So there, no minimum, okay, no monthly maintenance fee. Earn a higher rate on the first 500 with the member advantage savings, and they have a bunch of different options. Look, earn a premium rate right here, earn higher rates on CDs. So that's why I like CDs, because they are going to earn you more money. But again, the downside is your money's going to be tied up for a longer period of time. So it just depends if that's going to be the best for you. But you can also have CD accounts and high yield accounts. But again, do what's going to be best for you. Number 12, Northwest Federal Credit Union, very competitive rates as well. Golden One is coming in at number 13. They are California based, and you have to be a member with them. So with many of these credit unions, you're going to have to be a member with them, but sometimes you can pay to join, or you can join like the ACC and you can qualify for membership because you're a member of the ACC. And if you're not sure how to do that, join the credit community, because we have an entire video on how to do it, and I show you exactly how to get into these credit unions that you need access to. Redstone Federal Credit Union, and I have banking relationships to get you funding, so of course that helps as well. And again, some of these credit unions you may have never heard of. Lake Michigan Credit Union, right now they're between 6 and 7%. Patelco Credit Union, another great hidden gem, California-based credit union. Security Service Federal Credit Union. Security Service primarily focuses on military and government employees. So if you are military, I would highly recommend them, Navy Federal, USAA, and joining other banks or credit unions that really benefit your line of work, because ultimately they're going to give you the best banking product, because that's what they do. They specialize in military. ViStar Credit Union, Florida-based credit union, but also very great bank. We've got SECU, which is State Employees Credit Union. They are North Carolina-based bank, but they have really great benefits, and pretty much anyone can join. You just have to, again, know the information to be able to get around most things. Bethpage Federal Credit Union, very comparable rates, and Bethpage is another one of those hidden gem credit unions, guys. So if you have never heard of any of these credit unions, do some due diligence and pick 3 and start building, okay? Number 21 is going to be our Navy Army Community Credit Union, Texas-based, very competitive rates. Number 22, Hanscom Federal Credit Union. 23, Schools Federal Credit Union. 24, San Diego County Credit Union, which is SDCCU. Let's try to say that 10 times in a row, huh? But this is actually one of my favorite California-based credit unions, and anyone can pretty much join, okay? You might just have to have an address out here or in California, right? Or in the San Diego area. But the reason why I like them is because they offer pretty much everything that Navy Federal does, okay? So if you are not able to get into Navy Federal, San Diego County Credit union is a wonderful alternative, and you can do the pledge loan hack with them. Okay. You can also do the pledge loan hack with PenFed, DCU, inside of the credit kit that I give you guys for free. Again, the link is in the description. I put together a whole list of other banks that you can do the pledge loan hack with. But this list here is primarily nothing to do with credit, but everything in making your money work for you the best, right? And last but not least of the 25 for credit unions is Star One Credit Union. They are a Silicon Valley based California credit union, and there is a membership like most, but again, you can get around that becoming a member with them. So basically, just to wrap everything up for you guys, I want you to take action, okay? Find a few banks. If you're already members, open up a high yield savings account, okay? Pay yourself first. Start creating some nest eggs in different areas. Don't tell anyone about it. Your spouse or significant other doesn't need to know that you are going to pay yourself, okay? You need to just keep that to yourself, and maybe one day it can be used for, like I said, to surprise them on a vacation or whatever the case is. But start building up those nest eggs, because the sad fact is where our economy is headed, it is scary, right? We just don't know. The future is just unknown. But what we can predict is how we can operate. And as long as we have a budget, we are sticking with it, and we are managing our finances properly, we are not going to be affected either way, because we're going to be able to continue to build wealth, my friends. So again, my name is Credit Coach Nicole Scott. Make sure you have subscribed, join the credit community, get your free credit kit below, share with a friend. Sharing is caring. I appreciate you guys so much for watching, and until next time, make sure to watch the playlist coming up next.